What's up? It's Ruby. I hope you guys are having a good day today. Sorry I couldn't post last weekend. Things are just crazy. So today we're gonna react to rSlash. He's a funny guy and he reads these Reddit stories really well. I remember I used to watch him consistently, but then I just remembered about him. So we're gonna react to some interesting Reddit stories. So I hope you guys enjoy this.
Where a stupid Karen gets herself
fired. Our next Reddit post is from Writes for Dough. This isn't my story, but I was able to witness it in all of its glory because I used to work for one of the people involved. Years ago, I used to work at a state government agency where my boss was a political appointee. Her mom was a bigwig in our governor's party who wrangled a political appointment for her daughter, which meant that she had some clout behind her. Let's call her Shannon. Shannon was not good at her job.
We don't like Shannon.
She was frequently out of the office for meetings, as in 2-hour lunches, coffee with friends, a bit of shopping, etc.
She was also a bully and
a tyrant. She bullied her staff and would hold the threat of firing over everyone's heads to get them to do what she wanted. She wasn't a micromanager because she was never around enough to actually micromanage anything. And she was widely disliked throughout the entire building.
This was a large agency, so
to have a building where almost everyone disliked you took a lot of work. As a political appointee, she was untouchable. The people who did have the power to fire her couldn't because of her family. Even the number 3 person in the agency couldn't do it, and he was a political appointee as well. But after a year of mystery meetings and time spent out of the office, her excuses were catching up to her. The agency director removed her from her job and put her in charge of special projects. Anyone who's worked in a corporate job knows that people get put in charge of special projects because they were largely incapable of doing their previous job. They didn't get fired, but they no longer had any power. This was Shannon's case. For a while, she seemed to get the message. She shaped up, didn't have any more mystery meetings, didn't disappear from the building for 2 hours, and she treated people somewhat nicely.
Of course it didn't
last, and Shannon returned to her old ways. Around that time, we got a new assistant director. We'll call her Trisha.
You spelled Trisha like that?
She was the number
2 person in the entire agency, and she was great to work for. She was very serious about her job. Trisha had access to Shannon's electronic calendar and saw what Shannon had been up to. She then cross-checked the security logs to see when Shannon was in and out of the building. After her brief investigation, Trisha emailed Shannon with a list of dates and said, "Can you tell me more about these different meetings you were having and why they took so long?" Well, Shannon wasn't having any of that. How dare Trisha call her character into question? This was an outrage. It was so outrageous, in fact, that Shannon wrote a resignation letter and slammed it down on Trisha's desk. That'll show her. After a few hours, Shannon had time to think about what she'd done. She remembered that she had a 1-year-old at home. She also remembered that her husband was an unskilled truck driver who made $8 an hour. And she remembered that she was the primary breadwinner for her family.
Do you not understand how bad that is? Like most minimum wage jobs at teenage work is at least like $9 an hour. And this guy's making $8 an hour and he's a full-on adult with a child. That'll scream sad.
She went back to Trisha's office, hat in hand, and apologized for her attitude. She said she was willing to try harder, and she asked Trisha if she could please possibly have her letter back, pretty please. Trisha said, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're too late. I already processed that letter and sent it off to HR. I'm afraid I can't undo that." Do you remember in the movie The Incredibles when Mr. Incredible fought that giant ball with legs? The ball was so indestructible and powerful that the only thing that could beat it was itself. This was that moment. The previously untouchable political appointee had just been fired by the only political appointee who had that power, herself. And rather than protect her and do her a solid, Trisha would not undo the self-termination. She just let Shannon be her own undoing. When news of Shannon's self-firing raced through the building, you could hear the cries of, "What? Are you serious?" followed by howls of laughter as each new person heard the story. Shannon was out, and everyone who had to deal with her was much happier than they had ever been in that job. I've heard stories of people getting fired by someone else, and I've heard stories of people quitting, but I don't think I've quite ever heard a story of someone firing themselves. Then
We
beneath
have this story from Sam UC.
Okay, I'm only gonna react to one story because I don't know how this video is. First off, I'm so sorry guys, this video was very hectic. I knew that it was gonna be hard to actually find some funny videos where I would like literally laugh at. But hopefully you guys send me stuff. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that story. That woman low-key deserved it. And she should have thought about it before she acted on how she felt, which was not valid. But it's whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys. See ya next time.